This is stinking to high heaven because the Orlando nightclub shooter was an FBI informant and part of a multinational security force. And there had been reports he was planning something and nothing was done. And then his dad was involved in all this weirdness and all this other weird crap and showed up at Hillary speeches and then was connected into all these other groups. And then you've got the same thing with Paddock and our hostage rescue team sources saying he went to the Middle East, he's a gun runner. And then all that comes out months after we tell you exclusively. The media will say, Jones says no shooting happened. I am not saying that a shooting did happen. I'm saying the eyewitnesses they don't want you to hear are on air right now. So we're going back for final statements from Jalen Martin. And he can call in. We've got his number, set up a producer's line with any breaking news today, tomorrow, next week. We really appreciate him helping us. We've confirmed his identity, have his student ID, all of it. Let's play this clip. And I'm going to play the whole thing coming up. It's a couple minutes long. This is what KPRC wouldn't air. It's over the shoulder of KPRC while they're talking to one of the survivors who saw, talk about riveting footage, a riveting interview, her teacher shot in the head as they're trapped by wolves coming in a pincer attack, multiple shooters. Here it is.
All the kids to go outside so they could start shooting up. So they started shooting from the first floor up because there's only 2 exits in the freshman building. So everybody started running to the other exits, but that's when the other shooter started coming up. So everybody, and then I thank God to this teacher who opened up her door and let all of us in. She got shot in the arm trying to open the door, and then the other teacher, he got shot in the head trying to cut the other students, and it was like an hour, like it felt like years waiting for them. And then after all that, we finally got out, and like they started yelling at us to keep focused and pay attention ahead, the army, because they didn't want us to see the bodies that they hid in the corner. They were putting mats over them so we wouldn't see them.
Let's stop right here. This is all coming together now with sickening detail. And I keep saying majority because I'm going from memory. It's Marjorie Stoneman, Douglas High School. Ladies and gentlemen, what have I been saying for months? The left keeps saying, if you release the memo exposing FBI corruption and Justice Department corruption, there'll be massacres. And I've said all they've got left is a false flag card. Let's get Matt Bracken on. We said that last Friday over and over again. And we said attacks on schools, attacks on minorities. They'll have the perfect white supremacist cutout. An autistic person that was highly suggestible, and now reports of all these other shooters. Leader of white nationalist group confirms Florida shooting suspect is member of his organization. So we've got the left trying to cause race war in this country. And now the suspect in Florida shooting was reportedly a member of white supremacist group. A representative of the Republic of Florida organization told multiple outlets that suspect Nicholas Cruz was a member. The group wants Florida to become a white ethno-state. Jonathan Jerb told the Associated Press that Mr. Cruz had participated in paramilitary drills. So this is really getting crazy. Jalen Martin, thank you for all your time and interest and courage today. What do you make of this latest development with what we were just breaking down?
I think this is, there has to be, like, for sure, a second shooter. I think they need to keep investigating that. They shouldn't just sweep this under the rug as some other, school shooting where there was a lone gunman and then everyone's up in arms saying, hey, we need gun control. Everyone needs to take the guns away. That's why I said, I was talking to this guy, near the school, and he was telling me, these teachers, they would be able to protect the students had they just had the ability to fight back. He said, when you have a gun and you're going against someone who's trying to shoot you, you're equalizing the balance of power. That's exactly what needs to happen because, you see, there's a teacher laying on the floor in one video that I saw with blood everywhere and the teachers and the students are walking out. This type of stuff could have been completely, maybe not stopped, but diminished quite a bit had a teacher had a gun in that building and been able to shoot back and kill him. Kill him or wound him. And as far as new news coming out, I don't really know right now. I'm about to look up some more stuff and talk to more people. But my neighbor, she got shot and she's in the hospital.
Wow.
I'm hoping she's okay. Yeah, because I noticed last night when I came home that her parents weren't there, and one of her brothers opened the door and was like, hey, she got shot. We don't know where she is, actually.
Well, Jalen, our prayers go out to everybody. You've already got a YouTube channel. Go shoot reports with witnesses, upload them. You can be an InfoWars reporter right now. And so, I mean, let's get you on board. You're there. We appreciate your courage and your thoughtful coverage of all this. And so please get out there, interview as many eyewitnesses as you can, because you see multiple news channels not wanting to air the reports of multiple shooters, despite the fact that reporters are pushing for that. What do you make of that?
I think this idea of, like, hiding what is true and what is likely true is just something that has become normal nowadays. I think that once they are out there, they don't want to have to say something that contradicts what they've already said, because they don't want to have that fake news moniker, even though they've already taken it. They just might as well just go ahead and correct it and give the truth instead of trying to hide behind a lie and not make it seem like, hey, we lied about something. I think what needs to happen is the truth needs to come out. They need to set it free. And I think when that happens, maybe the mainstream media will understand that, okay, maybe we can start telling the truth about some other things.
All right. Well, Jalen, we're glad you and others survived. Our prayers go with you and all the wounded and the dead, and, of course, the families. But, wow, we said the perfect false flag would be a white nationalist attacking a multicultural school as a way to make the leftists all look like victims and bring in gun control and a war on America's recovery. And now, right on time, what we've been warning of, their main card, the thing we said was imminent, it appears with all the evidence. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School that's killed 17 people and injured over 20 is a deep state false flag operation. We have multiple news reports of credible witnesses saying they saw the supposed shooter unarmed walking down the hall while shooting was going on down the building, and that people were pinned on both exits being driven up into the third floor being shot, who witnessed teachers being killed. We have video of the news stations doing the interviews. People shot cell phone footage, but that didn't air, from KPRC and others. KHOU, that was there covering baseball, they interviewed people, but it didn't air on the news. The reporter put it out on his Twitter. What did I say a month ago? What did I say last week? What did I say when Matt Bracken, counterterrorism expert, was on? Just, what was it, Friday? I said, you watch. The only card the globalists have to derail our nationalism is what's in the WikiLeaks race war. And just like there was clear, credible evidence that they knew about what happened with the fella a few years ago, the idiot, the scumbag that went in and shot the 9 people at the black church, Dylan Roof, that an event like that is exactly what the globalists would do imminently to try to create racial division in this country and derail the nation, and the fact that black unemployment's at record low levels and the rest of it. And now you've got all these witnesses we just had on, high school seniors like Jalen Martin and others, that say nobody's buying the official story. They had weird SWAT team drills there in the weeks before. The teachers think there's something going on. You got the police and everybody showing up right as the shooting starts. It's incredible. And then, leader of white nationalist group, right on time, most of these things are Fed-run, confirms Florida shooting suspect is member of his organization and that they did paramilitary training together. Just like Oklahoma City was run by the Southern Poverty Law Center, and that's where McVeigh was, and that was the main white supremacist compound. And it was run by the Southern Poverty Law Center and protected by the ATF and the Clinton-controlled FBI, and then Eric Holder, Deputy Attorney General at the time, in 1995. Look it up. So I've been telling you, a new Oklahoma City is imminent. Attacks on multicultural schools, primary schools, colleges, churches, federal buildings, to make the globalist deep state the victims. This is the card. And then you saw Michael Hastings' wife, who used to sit as one of the main gophers on the National Security Council under Obama, openly saying a week and a half ago, if you release the memo, there will be giant massacres of liberals by right-wingers. I'm not saying she's involved. I want to know who told her to say that. And then we saw other people say, Chucky Schumer and others, a bunch of them said there's going to be new Oklahoma cities, just last week, 3 different senators. Who was it last week? 3 different ones. And I said, this is the message being sent. This is unbelievable. And then right on time, all of this kicks off. So seeing is believing. I've got to get some of the crew over there to go back to Matt Bracken on Friday, because I know we said it a bunch then, and there's countless reports where I said, false flag is the only move the globalists had to derail the nation coming together. And it's the only card they've got left after the hurricanes brought us together, and after the tax cuts brought us together, and after Trump and the Pride for America. Adam Schiff said that an Oklahoma City-style bombing could happen because of FISA memo as well. That's the Daily Caller, February 8th. I mean, it doesn't get any worse when they're on TV with Phil Mudd, who calls himself a proud S-holer on TV, and then says something, they're going to kill the president. Now he breaks down crying, and it's the fake, total fake. I mean, it's like a high school play do better, where he turns to the side, he goes, worse than Obama's fake crying. When he used to run counterterrorism, oh, he's so scared of death, and how he hates ISIS when he helped basically create it with Obama. I mean, this guy, this is the scum that rules us. This is they don't even tell you he's former deputy director of the CIA. They don't tell you any of that when he's on there. It's, oh, an FBI agent's on. He was sent over by Obama to take over the FBI by Mueller for globalist elements of the CIA in a foreign penetration of the FBI to fully take it over. It's not the CIA, it's the globalists that have penetrated it. And Phil Mudd is the main adjunct and the aide-de-camp to Robert Mueller. So when he goes on TV and says the government's going to kill the president, that is a message to all their stay-behind networks that we're going to win. And now he gets to wave the bloody shirt and say, it's all you gun owners and Trump's fault. More children, children of God. And then this is worse than a middle school play. Just like Obama starts the fake crying years ago and then tries to touch his eye to show there's a tear. I mean, this is just horse manure by the fake news channel CNN, 110%. So we got those clips coming up as well. We got a hold of Matt Bracken. He's coming on. But we have absolutely 100% got to go get, what, about 100 times in the last month I said they're going to shoot up a school. They're going to bomb a federal building. And you know what? They're going to do it all. You know, I've interviewed the police officers that survived, interviewed the widows of cops that got tortured to death like Terrence Yakey. I've interviewed Don Browning, the head of the Marine Corps veteran, highly decorated Marine, who was the head of the K-9 unit in Oklahoma City. And he went in there, and he started talking about how he saw feds taking bombs out, and they came in his office twice. He named the names of the FBI agents, senior ones. And they said, you and your wife are dead. You don't shut your mouth. And he's come on this show on Skype, shaking because he feels guilty for, his wife, but the flesh feels guilty. His soul feels right. Going, yeah, no, let me go ahead. And I said, let's go ahead and name him. Let's name him. He said, oh, all right, I'll name him. And he named him. Once at the water cooler and another time in his office. They said, Don, you and your wife don't want to die. You shut your effing mouth. You understand? Well, he didn't shut his effing mouth because not everybody's cowards like you. And I'm not saying the whole FBI is even bad. It's a civil war in our own hearts, individuals by individuals. Is a college bad? No. There's good people, bad people. Is the FBI bad? No. There's good people, bad people. It's the same thing. It's people. And denying there's evil in some of these government agencies has allowed it to grow. We've got a rogue multinational group funded by the communist Chinese and others, and allied with the Vatican. The popes endorsed communism, said China is the key to everything, that are running this country, and we're removing them right now, and the prosperity's coming back, and they're pissed, and they're scared. I mean, you look at Phil Mudd, he is a lunatic. And I looked him up. He's from the Virginia Mudd family and traces his lineage. I spent hours on Ancestry looking this up. I paid to get in there. And it looks like he is the offspring of Dr. Mudd, the only other person convicted for killing Lincoln. And now here he is saying he wants to kill another Republican president on TV when it looks like he is the heir to that term. Your name will be Mudd. And it's not on the news. The KHOU didn't air. We had to get it off his Twitter. He put it out. The reporter put it out. Think about that. Let's go to the full clip of the Hispanic lady, and then we'll go to the full clip of Alexa Middick, and then we'll have more. And we had an eyewitness on as well earlier who says he thinks the whole thing stinks to high heaven. Let's start playing those clips. Here they are.
All the kids to go outside so they could start shooting up. So they started shooting from the first floor up because there's only 2 exits in the freshman building. So everybody started running to the other exits, but that's when the other shooter started coming up. So everybody, and then I thank God to this teacher who opened up her door and let all of us in. She got shot in the arm trying to open the door, and then the other teacher, he got shot in the head trying to cut the other students, and it was like an hour, like it felt like years waiting for them. And then after all that, we finally got out, and like they started yelling at us to keep focused and pay attention ahead, the army people, because they didn't want us to see the bodies that they hid in the corner. They were putting mats over them so we wouldn't see them, but there was dust all over the floor from this weird thing they threw in there. They're trying to.
Do you think there was more than one
There's
shooter?
3 shooters. That's what I hear. Definitely.
How terrifying. Hold on one second now. How terrifying.
It was pretty damn terrifying because they were putting us through jails, and we all thought this was a drill. We thought this was a drill, but it wasn't. And then we just started hearing the gunshots, and it was really terrifying because my class, the class I ran into, he started shooting through the door, and he came through and he started shooting the cabinets, and that's when he shot the teacher. And then he ran back outside to shoot the other teacher who was closing the other door for the kids, but he didn't get to close the door, and he was just there. And so we were all just sushing each other, like, shut up, just suck it up if you're crying, because we're not trying to get shot. Because he was in the hallway yelling, hey, hey, trying to taunt us and get us to say things, trying to get us outside. And that's when some other kid, like, he ran out because he thought it was free, but he got shot, and then we heard the groaning outside, and we couldn't do anything.
So the shooter, tell me, besides, hey, what was he saying during
He
all
wasn't
this?
doing anything. He was legit, he just ran up the stairs, started
I actually was in the bathroom at the moment, and I had came back to my classroom, and I knocked on the door, and the fire alarm went off, and principal came on the speaker and just said, everyone needs to evacuate right now. So that's what we did. As I was going down the stairs, I heard a couple shots fired. Everyone was freaking out, saying that it was a gun. And as we were walking, the whole class together, I actually was speaking to the suspect, Nicholas Cruz. And as I was speaking to him, he seemed very, I don't know what the word I want to say is, but he was trouble in middle school. So I kind of joked to him about it and said, I'm surprised you weren't the one who did it. And he just gave me a huh. So that's really what happened.
You were walking down the hall. He had already fired at that time.
Yes, sir, with him.
Weren't you scared?
In the moment I wasn't, because there was definitely another shooter involved, but...
Oh, you think he was not the only one?
No, definitely not.
Why do you say that?
Because when shots were fired, I saw him after the fact. So, and the shots were coming from the other part of the building. So there definitely had to be 2 shooters involved, I believe.
That's the first I've heard of that. Did you see any other students who were wounded?
No, sir.
All the kids to go outside so they could start shooting up. So they started shooting from the first floor up because there's only 2 exits in the freshman building. So everybody started running to the other exits, but that's when the other shooter started coming up. So everybody, and then I thank God to this teacher who opened up her door and let all of us in. She got shot in the arm trying to open the door, and then the other teacher, he got shot in the head trying to cut the other students, and it was like an hour. Like,
all right, folks. By the way, I just got information during those clips. It's just there is no doubt there were multiple shooters. This is their move against America. They got an autistic kid to set up yet again.